Welcome back to Cable 10 Live. And right now, at this time, we've got the training manager for Good Life Fitness here with me. I've got Ben McDonough. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to talk about, in a nutshell, heart disease and how you can prevent that through, well, nutrition, exercise, and so much more. It's not as simple as that, but it can be a little more complicated. But with the right attention on board with this, we can actually create preventative measures to avoid cardiac arrest and heart disease, I guess, right?
Very, very true. You can look at reducing your risk of heart disease by up to 50%, if a decent structured exercise program.
Right.
So
now here's the thing, I sit back and I think of people who are senior would have to be aware of their heart disease, but heart disease and cardiac arrest is not discriminatory to just seniors. It can happen at 20, 25 years old. I mean, it has no discrimination whatsoever, does it?
No, not at all. I think sedentary lifestyle is going to be one of the biggest killers. It's causes of obesity, it's causes of diabetes, it's causing of heart disease. And I think that as human beings, we're designed to move and we're designed to eat in a specific way.
Right.
And if we eat in a specific way and if we move a little bit more, then we're going to offset a lot of the issues that we have in a modern lifestyle.
We're sold and we're taught so many different gambits of health issues, and rightfully so. When you think of cancers and you think of other disorders and ailments that happen, and they get a lot of time for publicity out there. In terms of awareness, where do you find the Peel Region public is in terms of heart health awareness? Do you think we're very much aware? Do you think we have a long ways to go? Is it a general consensus of water cooler talk?
I think a lot of the time, your body is an amazing machine. Not your body specifically.
Right. No, definitely not. Not after the meal I had today. No.
The human body is a fantastic piece of equipment, and it's especially with heart health. I mean, it's a machine that starts from sort of day one when we're conceived and doesn't stop until the day we die.
Right.
And I think we can almost take it for granted a lot of the time.
Right.
I'm a big believer in movement and being happy, and movement and joy and mental state all tie in together. So I think if we can move a little bit, and we can eat in the correct manner, and sleep in the correct way and avoid stress, there's all these things that play a big role in health.
And you know what, Ben, we're going to get to that and so much more here on Cable 10 Live. Stay with us for more. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, but after that, we're going to talk more about your health through exercise and nutrition. I'm Randy Prasad. Stay with us. We're back here on Cable 10 Live. I'm Randy Prasad. Now, folks, feel free to call in with your questions regarding health, nutrition. We've got Ben McDonough here for Good Life Fitness, here to talk about how you can stay in shape and fit and fulfill those New Year's resolutions. We're about 2 months in. How many people do you think must have broken their resolutions at this point? Because goodness knows I did.
Yeah, we get a fair drop off at this point,
Absolutely. 905-848-LIVE is the number to call. You can contact here, and we'll field your questions right here live in studio. Ben, with that in mind, what inspired you to focus on getting out there and teaching and helping those having a better health and nutritious lifestyle? What empowered you to pursue this career path?
Well, I've been involved in health and fitness for many, many years. Obviously, I'm not Canadian, I'm from Manchester.
You know what? I didn't want to judge. I didn't want to say. He's either a really great actor or, yes, go on.
So I've been involved in like many different sports over the years, and I find that health and fitness and nutrition, it all ties in together. I think that people are so keen to spend money and spend their hard-earned dollars on a lot of stuff that's going to take them further away from their overall objective and health and happiness and stuff like that. And I'm big into helping people get to their overall objective and helping them to really find and live to their maximum.
You know, one of the biggest challenges that we all face, and I'm just as guilty of this too, is maintaining habit. We wake up on New Year's Day and we think, you know what, we're going to go to the gym, we're going to eat right, we're going to start eating fruits and vegetables, we're going to buy that juicer that we haven't used in 4 months, and we're going to get cracking on it. But life kicks in, and not that it's an excuse, but life takes its toll, and you drop off, you taper off after 2 months. How do you keep people motivated, especially over the winter months when you just want to, I want to be in my bed and cuddle up and sleep and eat nachos? So how do you keep the motivation, the habit going, even through the winter months, to hopefully have that beach body per se?
I think we've got to remember that forward movement is still movement.
Right. So if I lean over to bend for more chips, it's still moving.
Hey, listen, you burnt a couple of calories there, you know?
It's totally the wrong idea, but yeah, go on.
I think as human beings, we tend to miss the point where we are really just children, you know? And like I said to my son the other day, he's running around all over the house.
Right.
And he's running from room to room.
Right.
And I said to him, Harry, why are you running all over the place? And he looked at me and he went, Dad, I just want to get there quicker.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and I think we lose that sense of joy. We attach negative connotations to
Right.
training because it's a workout.
Right.
You
You're
see
working.
what I mean? So we're working.
Right.
Whereas we could go and we could do a Zumba class. We could do a little bit of dancing.
That's right.
You know, we could do any sort of movement that's gonna keep our body active and functional.
You train a variety of different people at your gym, and for people to come on board and say, you know, I want to take on a personal trainer, it's very intimidating and a bit overwhelming because it's almost acknowledging the fact that in their mind, and I've had this for me too, you feel flawed, you feel defective, and you're walking into a gym saying, oh my goodness, I'm not in shape, I'm submitting to this. How do you receive these people that come in and give them the care and the support that they need to say, you know what, you've made a great decision? How do you inspire them that, you know what, you've done a great thing by walking through that door?
I mean, I see those people as I'm not inspiring them. They are inspiring me.
How so?
Because to make such a huge, you think about it, if you've never trained,
Yeah.
you've never eaten in the right way, your nutrition
Right.
has always been poor, you may have had a weight problem for 25 years,
Right.
and you've made that initial step to walk through a set of gym doors
Right.
and to get stuck in and start training.
Right.
That to me is inspirational.
Right.
And I'm just happy that I can help these people out and help them and guide them along that path.
Right.
And as a company and working for Good Life,
Right.
we're not judgmental, you know.
Right.
We're there for everybody, not just the elite.
Right. But there is more involved in good nutrition, and you being a trainer, you cannot police the workout even when the session's done after the 2-hour session. There is dietary requirements, the timing. 40 times you're supposed to chew your food apparently, and adequate sleep. How do you measure all those expectations knowing that the onus is on you to make sure that person's fit?
Well, I think what we've got to do is take it in bite-sized chunks. I think that what we can do as human beings is take loads on board all at the same time.
Right.
And it's just too much for people to take.
It's overwhelming when you think of all those factors you have to put in. Yeah.
Of course. I mean, sometimes it can just be something as easy as let's drink a little bit more water,
Right.
and let's get the consistency into your workouts. And that's all I want you to do
Right.
for the first 6 weeks of training. Just turn up 3 times a week and drink an extra litre of water every day.
What is the one thing you've noticed that trips your clients into a state of, I don't want to say failure, but I guess maybe that's probably the best word, where they're on their way and they drop out? What was the one turning point? Is it maybe cravings? Is it just not committing to the routine because they're looking for quick gratification? What do you observe? What have you observed?
I think, obviously, I'm biased.
Sure.
But I believe that everybody should have a trainer.
Right.
I myself have a trainer.
Right.
And I've trained elite athletes,
Right.
people all the way from beginners to world #1
Right.
athletes. And I think that you have to have the right form of exercise that suits you. If you come in the gym and you don't necessarily have to train longer or harder, you just have to train smarter,
Right.
you know, to get the results that you want. And a lot of people do incorrect stuff, not because they don't know what they're doing,
Right.
but it's just through, I suppose, a lack of education
Right.
when it comes to that sort of health and fitness side of things.
And the thing is, when you're dealing with, when you're training, it's more than just the physicality. You're also involved the dietary portion. How do you measure out what meal plans and what exercises work for certain people? Because everyone has different masses, everyone has different body types, and not everyone can perform the same exercise. Some of them may have suffered with heart conditions, and they can't exert due to an enlarged heart, you know, a lot of force. So how do you customize your program, and how do you guarantee, or more cases than not, that this would work if you follow this plan?
Well, what I tend to do is I always err on the side of caution.
Right.
And it's far easier to make an exercise harder than it is to make it easier. Because
Right.
if you start too hard,
Right.
someone's going to get an injury or someone's going to get a condition exacerbated
Exactly.
instantly. So
Exactly.
if we start too easy,
Right.
then we can make an exercise harder like that. Just put a little bit more weight on the bar, or we just turn the treadmill up a little bit.
Right.
So it doesn't. It's if you are doing more than what your body is doing now,
Right.
you are going to get results in some way, shape, or form.
905-848 live is the number to call. You can call us here at the round table with your questions about health, nutrition, and fitness here. And I've got a few questions of my own. How much, we always think that people don't have to eat right as opposed to working out. For example, some people think if they go to the gym 7 days a week, they can skimper out on their food. What is the ratio, would you say, in terms of effective health between fitness goals and nutritional goals? Would you say it's 50-50? Would you think 75% success is based on nutrition over 25% physicality? Where would you put the range?
I'm sort of like, I'm in the school of thought that abs are made in the kitchen.
Yes.
You know? So I would
or abs
say,
can die in the kitchen.
very true. Very true.
Yeah.
So I would say, personally, from my experience, nutrition is going to play a 70% role in what it is that you do. One, it's going to fuel the training that you try that you're performing, but it's also due to hormonal response and lots of different sort of facets. It's going to improve the results that you get in a major way.
Where do you draw the line in your dietary prescriptions? There's doctors that have to come into consultation in terms of if you're dealing with supplements or something of a higher nature. What disclosures do you bring out to your clients and say, listen, I can only advise X, Y, and Z. Anything further has to be approved by a doctor. What kind of process do you go through in that regard?
I would say, I personally and my team of trainers, we follow the Canada sort of food guide. If you get somebody following that type of regimen, then they are going to get the results. You know, it's if we cut out first off the board straight away is all the processed foods. Take those directly out. Processed sugars, pops, juices, all that type of stuff. Take them out of the diet straight away. Increase someone's water intake, and cook it yourself from scratch. If it's flew, swam, grown on a tree or out the ground, eat it. If not, leave it on the shelf.
Your Super Bowl parties must be pretty lame.
Well,
true. The Oscars for his party. No, I kid. You know what? And the thing is, what are some of the success stories that you've had with all of your clients? I mean, a dedication of 2 to 3 months, you know, it's a world of change. And actually, I'm jumping into another question because I find it fascinating. There's a correlation between physical nutrition and proper diet and the mind. And when you look at people who suffer anxiety and depression, how much is this so important to maintain mental health with this program?
There's an old saying where food is the most overutilized anti-anxiety drug, and exercise is the most underprescribed antidepressant. And I'm a huge believer. I did a big presentation about exercise and nutrition and its effects on mental health. And the two go very, very, very tightly hand in hand. I think that when we put lots and lots of different chemicals inside our body, it has a chemical response in the brain, and we feel poor. We feel we don't perform.
You know, we have Miranda online from Mississauga. Miranda, you're on the line.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Your question.
Yeah, I have a question for Ben. So when going to the gym, you know, I typically do sort of the circuit of the, like, you know, fit, you know, 20 minutes on the different machines, doing multiple repetitions, and then I'll do cardio. But I'm getting rather bored with that. So I'm just wondering how I can inject some variety and some change into my workout to keep me wanting to go back.
Okay, Miranda. So what I would say, the advice that I would give you is just jazz it up, make it a little different, you know. Go and do a class, go and do a Zumba class, go and do something that we've got to get away from this, like we have to have a very, very structured workout, you know. A lot of the time what we need to do is just get the endorphins going, you know, and just enjoy our training again.
So is it, thank you for that, Miranda. So does sweat dictate effort in terms of that was a workout, or you don't need to use indications of sweat?
Not at all. I mean, a lot of the time people tie that to the overall objective. You know, I've got to sweat if I'm going to lose weight, or I've got to feel pumped up if I'm going to put muscle mass on. But a lot of the time, we have to look at fitness as health and fitness as total health and fitness.
Miranda, what kind of workouts have you been engaged in? Is it